Spencer Pratt was right in there, and
Mhm.
he was number 2 easy. There was a distant third, but,
Mhm.
elections take about a month and a half in California,
To
and
count
you'll
the
be
mail-in.
shocked to hear that just collection after collection, tranche is it tranche? Like a trench of votes? Anyway, they get
Oh.
these big batches
Mhm.
of mail-in votes, and
Mhm.
you'll get 24,000 of them, and there won't
Wow.
be a single one for Spencer Pratt. It's amazing. It's
I
like
know. I know. Those people who can't make their way to the voting booths in person, they just don't like Spencer Pratt.
well, and it's just it's kind of it's just kind of an embarrassment. Let's listen. Trump had something to say about it. Shockingly, who could imagine
Mhm.
that Trump would have something to say, right?
Okay.
So it's no mail-in ballots. You see that. So what's happening in California? They're rigging the election. Now, maybe we caught them, and maybe they won't be able to get away with it. They tried with me. They did it successfully the second time. The third time, we made it too big to rig. Too many votes. They couldn't do it. They can only go. They sort of gave up at about 9:07, where they got slaughtered with the votes that came in.
Welcome everyone to the wildly opinionated news hour. Todd's World.
Woo!
I'm here. Todd,
Hi. Hey,
Carrie.
Todd.
We do it
Hello.
every week. Thanks for joining us.
So
We go
glad
through
you're
the
here.
clips of the day, the kind of see what's going on in the culture. And then, so we do this on Tuesdays. We do Beers with Jesus on Wednesdays. That's kind of our walk through the stories of the Bible, which we love. We're doing Noah's Ark this week, which is awesome. Or
Mhm.
Noah and the flood. We
The flood.
kind of
Woo.
did him building the ark the week before. So anyway, how's your week, Carrie? Exciting?
It was yeah, it was busy. Lot
Yeah,
of
my week
work, a
was.
lot of stuff, really packed. So
I'm fitting
this
life
is
in
like,
because I got a bunch of graduates and some open houses, and
oh
so
my
we're
gosh,
just
you are busy
balls to
every
the wall. But
second.
it's fun.
It is fun. It's
Good to
better
be
than being
busy, right?
bored. Yeah, it's better than being bored.
Yeah, that's what I think. So
And I'm so glad that we're here doing, like you said, news and culture. It's like, man, there's like not a dull moment in our news and
there's
culture.
never a dull moment. I mean,
Mm-mm.
there really isn't. Certainly not with Trump. I mean, Trump has changed kind of everything, but
Change the landscape.
yeah. Have you this may shock you. I mean,
Okay.
I know that you lived through 2020. We all lived through 2020. We know how the
Yes.
Democrats work. We know that California is the worst example of all that is Democrat.
Oh my gosh.
But
Actually, the
shockingly,
best example.
they're trying to steal another election in California.
Are they really?
Can you
I
imagine?
am shocked.
No, I know. I mean,
Call me
who'd have
shocked.
thought they would even do it, really? And it's typical. It's what California's doing is what they had planned for the entire United States post-COVID.
Mhm.
And we ruined it. That's why they hate us. The people ruined it.
Woo!
We the people.
That's right.
And they hate us. They do hate us.
I
But
know. It's too
in
bad.
California, they have, it appears, set the expectations so low that they just so they had a primary
Yeah.
election this last week.
Mhm.
And this was the one with Spencer Pratt, who was running all the cool
Spencer
AI
Pratt.
yeah, all great ads. We played a few of them.
Yeah.
And
The whole
so
country is, like, on top of this. They are so excited about Spencer, like, a mayoral race in, across the country. It's so funny.
and Spencer Pratt was right in there, and
Mhm.
he was number 2 easy. There was a distant third, but
Mhm.
elections take about a month and a half in California,
To
and
count
you'll
the
be
mail-in.
shocked to hear that just collection after collection, tranche is it tranche? Like a trench of votes? Anyway, they get
Oh.
these big batches
Mhm.
of mail-in votes, and
Mhm.
you'll get 24,000 of them, and there won't
Wow.
be a single one for Spencer Pratt. It's amazing. It's
I
like
know. I know. Those people who can't make their way to the voting booths in person, they just don't like Spencer Pratt.
Well, and it's just it's just kind of an embarrassment. Let's listen. Trump had something to say about it. Shockingly, who could imagine
Mhm.
that Trump would have something to say, right?
Oh,
Actually, I
let's
got
hear it.
two different. I got a lot of clips on what's going on in California,
Excellent.
but I got a couple from Trump, and I always like to start with the leader of the free world. So see what's
Yeah,
going on. Which, by the
this
way,
is
I
great.
don't think there's any that I know of. There's no updates really on whatever's
Really?
on the Iran war. I mean, it's just
Oh,
this
gotcha.
constant, like, I think Iran lobbed a few ballistic missiles yesterday, and then we hammered them back.
Okay.
But that's kind of all. I don't know. There was a clip that came out last week where they asked Trump about ceasefires, and they said, "What does a ceasefire mean?" And he says, "Well, it depends on where you are. In that part of the world, I think it's a little more moderate of a term." So I don't know. I don't. I think I just don't know. And there's the
Mhm.
reason that everybody was so hesitant to do what Trump is trying to do in Iran is because what do you do at the end? I mean, how do you win?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, in every measurable, like by every measure, we won 100%.
Yes.
I mean,
Like,
in,
on
in any
paper.
traditional military
Mhm.
national understanding, we won, except that we don't have the political will to go in and actually conquer the country, and therefore we just what do we do? We don't want them to have nukes,
Right.
but we
It's the
can't
primary
exactly
goal.
entirely destroy their nuke program from the air because of
Okay.
the way they've got things buried under mountains and
Okay.
whatever.
Well,
And so we don't have the political will to go in and actually do what I guess needs to be done if you were drawing up a mission. And when I say we,
mm,
I mean the entire country. Nobody
right.
wants that.
I agree. I just think it's a no-win. All it means is that we're gonna be there forever running things because as soon as we leave, then the crazies are going to step back in. Can you still hear me?
Sorry, Carrie.
No, that's okay.
I had to let a cat out of the studio.
Got it.
I should have known better. I should have got that.
I
Anyway,
know, my door's always just cracked a little bit for Tucker to come and go into the studio.
if
Anyway,
I left the door open, there'd have never been any drama. He'd have laid on the bed. At the second I closed the door, now
yeah,
they want out. You know how it
yeah,
goes.
claustrophobic kitties. Well,
Anyway, yeah.
anyway,
So
I think you're
I
right.
just think
People don't want us. We don't wanna go there. We'll
we don't
just
want to
get
go there,
stuck
but
there.
we don't know how to. I just think at this point,
Yeah, we don't know how
what
to tie it
happens?
in a bow without boots on the ground.
Yeah, and nobody wants boots on the ground.
No, exactly. I
I don't
mean,
want
hey,
boots on the ground. You don't want boots on the ground. I
nope,
don't think.
nope.
And people are starting to get a little frustrated.
Mm, okay.
I was talking to our old buddy Will on the phone and he was like, "Yeah, this week." And he's like, "Dude, I'm getting really frustrated
Okay.
with this Iran thing." And
That
I
it's that
don't,
it's dragging
that it's
or
just
what?
dragging and dragging. And it feels like all they want to do is outlast us,
Yeah,
which I think is all they want to do. And they think they can because of the midterms,
they can't.
but
But
we'll see.
anyway, okay.
So anyway, that's the Iran stuff. That's your Iran war update.
That's all we
Nothing.
needed. Nothing.
Nothing
Big
at all.
nothing
No
burger.
update at all.
Big nothing burger. Okay.
The Ayatollahs remain gay, maimed, and enclosed under mountains. And
Which,
meanwhile, much of the mainstream American media says they're winning, and you
to
think,
each
oh,
yeah,
okay, I guess.
to each their own, you know? I mean, if you wanna be gay underground, it's fine. It's fine with us.
So Iran,
Okay.
that's their definition of winning over here. Over here, Spencer Pratt can't be allowed to win. That much we know.
No.
Here's Trump talking about the
Okay.
California election because it isn't just Spencer Pratt, it's also Steve Hilton who was running for governor. And it's the same
Oh,
exact
okay.
thing. Like he's ahead,
Okay.
and then slowly but surely over the course of a month and a half, 2 months, 4 months, they whittle away.
Okay, pause a second and fill me in because we focused so much on the LA
Steve
mayor race.
Hilton is running for
He's running for
governor.
governor, and what is his political party?
He's a Republican.
Okay.
He's a foreigner. When you hear him, I got a clip of him. He was a naturalized British citizen in 2021. So
Okay.
I got to tell you, I don't like that. I don't like
I
foreigners
don't
running
either.
to
Even
control
like
our.
even Eastern Europeans, I'm like,
I don't like
or
it.
Western Europeans, whatever. Yeah, no.
Become a citizen, have your kid born here, then your kid can run, and I feel better about it.
Or maybe
But
your
anyway,
great grandkids. We talked about that one time. I'm like, I think the farther out you go, the
yeah.
better. Okay.
Well, let's hear what Trump has to say about the California election.
Okay.
So it's no mail-in ballots. You see that's what's happening in California. They're rigging the election. Now, maybe we caught them and maybe they won't be able to get away with it. They tried with me. They did it successfully the second time. The third time, we made it too big to rig. Too many votes. They couldn't do it. They can only go. They sort of gave up at about 9:07 when they got slaughtered with the votes that came in. So it's no mail-in ballots. You see that.
So that was the first Trump one. I got a little longer one.
Okay.
Where is he here? Hold on.
I think I have a solution to the mail-in ballot problem.
What do you think, Carrie? What I mean, because this is a tough nut to crack. Because California just they mail ballots to everyone willy-nilly. And they don't take it, they don't check IDs. They just anybody. What's your solution?
I think every single ballot and every person needs to be assigned a serial number on a ballot, a traceable serial number on a ballot.
Okay.
And that thing should be, I don't care if it's complicated AF. It should be like a certified letter with a tracking number, because you know what? I'd love to know where all these 24,000 ballots are coming in that are all for one candidate, because it's complete BS to any logical statistician.
Well, but this is exactly what they want. They don't want what you want.
I'm just saying, hey, you want mail-in ballots? Then we need
down the Palisades. Do you think they want to be held accountable for that?
For the Palisades?
No. They don't have anything.
They care more about the environment then.
Do you think that John Thune wants to pass the SAVE Act that would actually mandate that we check IDs and that we have which I'll say this about the SAVE Act. I heard Trump, and he may say this on here somewhere. I don't remember.
Okay.
But I thought he said the only thing we added to the SAVE Act was no men and women's sports and no transgender surgeries. And I just thought, why? Why do we have to make these bills into conglomerations?
Oh yeah, they shouldn't.
We make the Democrats just say, because that gives them cover now. Well, we got to protect the trans kids. It didn't have anything. I'm all for photo IDs when we're voting, but we got to protect the trans kids. All it is a poison pill.
Yeah, keep it clean. Just keep it a clean bill.
I'm all for the tranny bill. Pass the tranny bill. Call it the tranny bill. See if John Thune can get behind that one.
I don't think anyone's going to call it that.
Call
Only
it
in Todd's world.
Bill.
The what?
The addictomy bill. Okay. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The Senate doesn't have any interest in clean elections. Nobody who actually is in leadership in the country, except like Trump and a few Republicans, have any interest in clean elections.
I'm still laughing at addictomy.
Addictomy.
Because it sounds.
Rush. I got to give Rush credit for that.
Okay,
that was a classic
you,
Rush line.
Because that sounds like one word. Sorry, that's.
And I
hysterical.
love Rush, so you know.
Okay.
Anyway, let's listen to Trump.
They rigged the election. When I turned, the election was totally rigged. It was a rigged election, just like they're rigging the election right now, it looks like in California. Can you imagine? It's 4 days, and they still aren't even close to telling you who won. You know why? Because they're rigging the election. That's why.
Yeah.
4 days.
And don't you think everybody knows it, kind of?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't, it's not like you say this to somebody and they're incredulous. Like, no, what do you mean? They're just giving everybody the right to vote.
It's like, why does it take 4 days? It's just one state.
4 days? It doesn't take 4 days. They've been at it. They had been at it for 4 days at this point. They're talking about a month and a half.
Oh my gosh. It's insane. That's complete insanity.
You know, in Spain, they had it like, I'm not a big fan of Spain, to be honest with you. I'm very far left. But they had an election. All the votes were in, similar size to the state of California. A little larger, actually. and every vote was in by 10 o'clock in the evening and counted.
That's
gonna be
impossible.
waiting
It can't be
weeks
done.
to get these votes. It's corrupt. Somebody said it's incompetent. I said, no, just the opposite. It's unbelievably competent if you happen to be a Democrat politician.
He is
because
so
with their policies,
right.
the only way they can get elected is to cheat. And when you look at an election, not even relatively a big election, for one state, for one city, for Los Angeles, they're nowhere close to counting the votes. But you look at what's happening, it's getting tighter and tighter and tighter. And the people that were supposed to win, bad things are happening. It's a crooked state. We have crooked third world elections in a lot of our states, and we should pass our Save America Act.
What is going to happen here, Todd? This is nuts.
It's ridiculous. I will tell you this. He's got a little bit more to say, but the Supreme Court has cases before, has already heard these cases this term.
Okay.
I think they were out of Mississippi. Anyway, it had to do with mail-in ballots and how long they can be counted after an election.
Yeah.
And Judge Alito, and it appeared the court was poised to make all of this have to be done by Election Day, because Judge Alito made the comment that we've replaced Election Day with Election Month. Justice Alito, I should say.
Oh, there you go.
And he's 100% right. So it is possible those decisions should come out by about the end of June. It's possible by the end of this month that we may still not know the results of these races, but that the Supreme Court could come in and say all of this is illegal. And at that point, and it's unconstitutional, I don't exactly know what would happen with this race. You know what I mean? I don't know. But it could fix a bunch of things. It could fix the mail-in ballot issue going forward. Now, it's still ridiculous because there should not be we shouldn't have to rely on the Supreme Court. We have a Congress, but our Congress is just utterly worthless. We all know that. They just.
I hope the Supreme Court
rigged the
makes the
election.
difference on this.
Sorry about that.
No,
I was
you're
trying to stop
good.
sharing it. Go ahead,
fine.
Carrie.
No, I hope the Supreme Court can put some kind of reasonable end to this route in, you know?
Yeah.
And then what the Democrats would do is they would then stockpile ballots beforehand. And then what you do is you make a rule that you can't come in it with anything other than a brown paper sack lunch and your handbag, you know? Like
You
that's
mean
it.
to the voting or
To
to
the
the
voting.
counting?
If you're a poll worker, like that's it. You're not allowed to bring in pallets of luggage or
I mean,
you know?
listen.
I mean, it's
It'd be
just
so. We know this. What he just said was Spain. This is all over the world. All the European countries. We know we could secure elections if we wanted to. We just. It's again. It's not much different than the Iran thing, which is we don't have the political will, or our leaders don't have the political will, because the grift and the fraud and the money laundering is so. It's so entrenched.
right.
I mean, do you think John Thune for 1 second is going to stop that gravy train when everybody lined up in the Congress, all the lobbyists, hell, the whole city of Washington, D.C. is looking at him saying, what are you doing? That's how we get our money. No, they're not going to do they're not going to willingly do that. They're going to have to be forced into it.
You know, and if I can take us off track slightly, I
No,
want
go
to
ahead,
say
Carrie.
in Florida, our governor, Ron DeSantis, is trying to get past the abolition of property tax. If
Yes.
you own
I
your
thought
home,
that passed. Am I wrong?
so I'm not 100% sure where it is, but
Okay.
guess who's freaking out about it? Democrat politicians in Florida.
Yeah.
They're freaking out.
Oh,
And
they
you know
hate the
why?
idea. They never want to get rid of taxes.
No, they don't. And I think we are in a surplus. The state of Florida is in a surplus. So what are you worried about? I think, well,
Yeah.
maybe you're worried about how much you're getting on the side. It's the only reason. If we're in a surplus, it's the only reason they could object to this. And I'm so done. So done with the
Well, I
politicians
hope
just
that
stealing from American people.
I'll say, though, the fact that DeSantis is leading the charge, and he started this, I know, a few years back.
Mhm.
And this has spread to other
Mhm.
red states.
Yeah.
And it's 100%. I am so on board with getting rid of property taxes. I know that the way Florida is going to do it, there, if you just move there, you got to pay them for like 5 years, then you can
Mm.
opt out or something. They're going to do something like that.
Okay.
And you know what? Whatever. I'm just
Whatever, you're paying it anyway.
even if it takes a second to get there,
Mhm.
the end of property taxes is within sight. And to
Mhm.
me, that's a fabulous thing. If we could do the same thing with income taxes, it'd be
Yes,
fabulous.
I agree.
If we could at least get the end in sight, because now we have a president who's willing to talk about it. We have the tariffs
Mhm.
that are taken off,
Mhm.
everything else. In fact, I mean, listen, California's California, and I'm not willing to concede it. I think we need to fix it.
Right.
But let me show you. Now, there's a new federal lawsuit that's accusing the California Secretary of State of violating federal law by
Mm.
failing to clean up voter rolls, which I'm sure is hard.
Nice.
That's hard to believe, right? I
Yeah.
can't imagine a Secretary of State would actually do that. But
Are you shocked, Todd?
this is who the Secretary of State is. So maybe there's something to it. maybe maybe Miss Shirley Weber is not
Shirley
100%
Weber.
legit. So
Okay.
the shocking numbers, 873,000 registrations have been inactive for at least 2 general federal elections.
Wow.
320 almost 327,000 have been inactive for 3, 150,000 for 4, and 34,000 have been inactive for 5, some dating back to before 2016. But these ghost voters remain on the rolls
Mhm.
despite clear federal requirements to maintain accurate lists.
And you know
So,
what? They're voting by mail. I think Shirley's got a little house cleaning to do. A little
well,
housekeeping.
I do you think that Shirley transitioned into Shirley? I mean, I don't know, guys. You'd have to look at the picture, but you know, so far the Save America hasn't passed yet, so they're still allowing addictomy surgeries.
That
Anyway,
that might have been a move, I don't know. I don't even know what to say to that. I don't wanna
but
I don't wanna rip on how someone looks, but that's a tough photo to overcome.
it's maybe not the best
Stuff.
one, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Crap.
But
I
yeah,
want to play
Shirley's yeah.
just before we get off California, just so you can hear Steve
Mhm.
Hilton, because we haven't talked much about him.
Oh, right.
And he's the Republican candidate for governor. I mean, by all accounts, I guess a decent guy. Like I said, the foreigner thing bugs me, but
Is
eh,
he the news guy? Is Steve
yes, he
Hilton?
was on Fox News for a
Okay,
while.
I'm sorry. Right there, it just clicked because I'm like, I know the name, but I don't know the face. He looks completely different with facial hair.
Oh,
I know
does he?
Steve Hilton.
Okay, let's listen to him. You know him.
Okay.
I don't know him because I don't watch
Oh,
cable news TV.
I know him well.
Let's get
Okay.
to this absolute shambles of an election count. It's actually
Hello,
way
Olaf.
worse than the president just mentioned. It's not 6 or 7 or 8 days. Here's from the Secretary of State's website today, 35 days.
Oh,
That's the plan, 35 days. This is an absolute shambles, a humiliation.
that's the plan right now.
for
They'll add on
California.
another
It
35
is making
days.
our state
35
a
days.
laughing stock here in America and around the world. We have less than 10 million votes cast in this election in California, and it's going to take them a month to count them. India, 640 million. They do it in a day. States here in America. Look at Florida, how
You
quickly
can't compare
they
us
get their
to
count out. Within
Indians.
hours. Same sort of numbers.
Takes us
They
a
have
lot
early
longer to
voting too.
count.
They have mail-in voting too, but they can do it in an hour. Here it takes a month. It is an absolutely inexcusable.
We just saw the Secretary of State. I'm not even sure she can count.
I don't know if she's in there counting. Might
don't
be
think
counting.
so.
She might be counting the cash in her handbag.
I just need some walking around money.
Yeah.
so
Yikes.
so anyway, but
Mhm.
so that's California.
Okay.
The elections are still being rigged. If the Save America doesn't pass, which it hasn't so far, then nothing has been cleaned up. But you know what? I'm not
God bless
convinced.
California.
I'm not convinced that this is our last shot. I'm not convinced. I think that I'm not convinced that we can't win the next presidential election with whoever I don't know, Vance, Rubio, whoever runs.
Right.
I think that
You're not
Trump,
convinced?
if he can get his, well, in other words, because the Democrats could switch right back. Everything could go right back without the Save
Mhm,
America Act. They could flood the nation with
mhm,
mail-in ballots. I
right.
mean, just as easily as Trump can issue an executive order where he's banning all mail-in ballots,
Mhm,
the next Biden clone can walk in
mhm,
and issue one that says, "Oh no, everybody gets mail-in ballot." You know what I mean? So it's just,
right.
that's the whole point of having a Congress and having laws, is that laws are supposed to be more binding, and they are.
What do you think will
S
happen in California if they do spend 30 days counting and they get just enough to eke past Spencer Pratt? What do you think the
Nothing,
people in California will do? No, the people, the voters.
nothing.
Really? Nothing? Damn it.
I think they're beaten down in California. In fact, I had a clip here. I wasn't gonna play it, but you, it's a short little 1-minute clip, and you just brought it up with that, so I'm gonna play it. This is Jonathan
This is how
Turley.
good we are.
This is how amazing Carrie is. But no,
Thank you.
this exact thing. Let's see what he's talking to Laura Ingraham,
Mm,
and let's hear what he has to say about the voters of California. It's a quick little 1-minute clip.
Well, these
okay.
are not just Californians, they're Americans. And this system is just entirely out of whack. And it says something about where we are politically. It's the politics of low expectations. I mean, these California politicians have conditioned voters in the state to have the lowest expectations as to what they deserve. Right? When Californians see that no other state puts their citizens through this, they just sort of shrug and they do, they say what you just heard that from Schiff. Oh, well, this is California. And it's the same shrug you see with the high speed train to nowhere that has a budget bigger than Amtrak and no train. It's that politics of low expectations. But there's a danger here. When you create a system that dysfunctional, that inefficient, it begins to undermine the constitutional right to vote. It raises questions as to whether you have this Republican form of government that's working.
What do you think? Did he answer your question? Unfortunately,
Unfortunately, yes. Mm, it's a
I
shame.
think that's what happens to a populace. They just get beat down.
Mhm.
You know, I mean,
Right. It's tough.
and I think that's what's happened in California. I think they've been,
Mhm.
I mean, if you're in California and a massive wildfire breaks out and your home is endangered, probably you kind of expect it to burn down, you know?
Right. Well, now
Makes you
you do.
mad.
Right.
Right. But I mean, this is just this, they fail at everything they do,
Mhm.
but they spread enough walking around money around out there to keep buying votes. And then they rig the system. And then at that
Mhm.
point, you can't hold them accountable because they have a month and a half to find the votes.
Yeah.
They kind of filter in, and
At
it's
the post
shocking.
office.
It's
Mhm.
amazing how it works.
Mhm.
So, and the people of California look at it and they think, well, it doesn't work. We can't hold them accountable. This is just how life is. This is how life is in California. Now, I'm not saying that's good. I'm just saying I
Yeah.
think people get beat down like that.
Right.
Whereas in Florida, you're like, we made life better in Florida. Look at us. And now
Mhm.
everybody wants to come to Florida.
Right. As long as they come here
And
and vote appropriately,
you're okay with it.
I'm okay with it. Although our traffic really sucks. I don't have too far to
How
go.
much do you have any feel, or I'm sure this is readily available information, but how much has Florida grown like since COVID?
Oh,
I
you
mean,
know,
they talk about it a lot. I just don't know, like, are there millions? Has it grown by
mm,
millions of
I don't
people?
know, but I know that in my city, I know that there are like constantly condos, apartment buildings like being built everywhere you look.
Hmm.
So,
So
yeah,
clearly they're coming,
they're coming. Yeah. So,
which
yeah.
is good. This is Kevin Hassett, and
Okay.
I think it's Trump's national economic director, council director,
Okay.
some presidential economic thing. There's just a bunch of them. Sorry, I had to
Okay.
find the right thing here. And he's talking about the Trump economy, and I would
Okay.
say that this sounds Sounds pretty good. Gas is where's gas now in Florida? About 4?
So gas has dipped below 4. It's in the 3.75 to 3.85
Okay.
range.
Better
Yeah.
than here. We're at about
you?
4.20.
Okay.
But
You dipped. You said like last week. I
we
think you
dipped
said
and then
you
it went back up,
went
and
below 4.
so
Okay.
we'll see. Hopefully, it's on a downward trend. But here he is talking about the
You
economy.
double the number, what's happening?
Yeah, it's absolutely a blowout number. And
What he's talking about is, do you remember with Biden how they kept
Mhm.
coming out every month? The government issues jobs reports.
Yes.
And under Biden, every month they'd issue a jobs report,
They were
and just for
hysterical.
round numbers, they'd say something like, "The economy gained 100,000 jobs last month,"
Mhm.
and then we start going along, and then about 3 months later, there'd be a quiet little story that would come out. Oh, by the way, those May jobs numbers were revised down by about 70,000, and this happened over and
Mhm.
over, like constantly. They would over-report jobs.
Right.
Well, the same kind of thing is happening with Trump, except it's reversed. So every time that they announce these jobs,
Yeah.
they'll be like 85,000 expected. They'll go back, and when they go back and revise it, it's like 172,000. And so it's
Nice.
the exact
the
opposite.
thing that's most astonishing about it is we look at the forecast of everybody that's surveyed at Bloomberg, and not a single person got this number right. That happens quite a bit. But the error from the top person to this number was about 50,000 jobs. And so, right now, Wall Street just doesn't understand that the Trump economy is really creating an economic golden age. And then another thing that is probably not going to make the headlines, certainly not in the fake news, is that the numbers keep getting revised up. So you remember under Biden, they kept revising the numbers down. Well, we find that the previous months, they jacked the numbers up by another 100,000.
Yeah, I see that.
It's-
Revisions were higher in March and higher in April.
So that's what's going on, and
That's cool.
that's
know,
good. That's a
Go ahead.
better way to do it.
Yeah. Back then, during that Biden term, I followed the White House Instagram account, and they would post those job reports, and they were so funny because the comment section was just the best entertainment. I looked forward to the reports just for the comments. So it's
And
pretty
I
fun.
will say, what's your sense? Do you feel like,
Mhm.
I mean, I feel like people feel like the economy's pretty good. They just
Mhm.
wish gas would come down. Does that kind of
Yes,
track with what you're feeling or
I think
hearing? Or
food and gas. I think food and gas, and I'm sorry, food, gas, and housing costs. I feel like are really the 3 big things that people feel
yeah,
like are too high. Um,
and
but
they're way too high.
they are. But the job market does seem good. I know Trump's worked to incentivize, bringing manufacturing back. I'm curious where we are with the tech. I keep trying to figure out how to research that. I'd like to know where
With
the
the tech, what do you mean?
tech production in the country, because
Oh, well, I just happen to have a clip for you. See
oh
how
my
well
gosh,
Carrie does that? It's amazing.
it's like
It's
this is why we get paid the big bucks. No, Todd, that's actually really cool. I'm glad to hear that you have something on it.
Here he is. This
Okay.
is I'll get it up. Go ahead though. You can keep going. I just
Okay,
gotta.
so one of my sons has a major computer part that needs to be fixed, and right now he can't buy a new one and get it quickly. They're not in stock, and
Agent
it,
in
it
making
just made me
Sorry,
think recently. That's okay,
that was an
but it's
accident,
what made me
guys.
think recently. Where are we with the moving tech production here? Because I know we talked about the chips. Now
Hmm.
it's like, how about the other stuff? How's it going? So yeah, I'm
Well,
excited to hear an update.
this is Jensen Huang, who is
Wang.
the Nvidia
Mm-hmm.
CEO,
Yep.
and he's saying this. Let's hear what he has to say, because he's going to
Great.
talk about exactly. Well, he's talking about chip production specifically,
Okay.
but he does widen it out a little bit.
It's a huge first step. Okay.
So let's hear what Jensen Huang has to say.
All right.
We manufacture the most advanced AI chips in the world, in the most advanced fab in the world, here in America for the first time.
Woo!
All of this started with President Trump wanting to reindustrialize the United States. His terrorist was a pressing agent in making this possible at the speed that we're doing. And now, shortly after, less than a year we're now manufacturing the most advanced chips for AI here in the United States. This is just the beginning of it. With the partnership of the supply chain in Taiwan, TSMC, an incredible partner, a strategic partner for the United States in bringing manufacturing of the most critical sector of technology here to the United States. This is just the starting point, where after that, with Foxconn, Amkor, Spill, Wistron, so many of our other partners, we're going to bring the entire supply chain of building AI infrastructure back here in the United States. By the end of the next 3 or 4 years, we'll probably manufacture, we're on target to manufacture about $500 billion of AI supercomputing technology to be installed here.
What do you think, Carrie?
I mean, I don't care as much specifically about the AI, infrastructure technology. I mean, it makes sense that that's what they're looking at, but it's like, I would just like them to be more practical, like in terms of the chips. How about computer parts? How about the motherboards? How about the GPUs? Like, that's what I'm talking about. So
My guess is that you will
it's
start to
fine.
see a
I
fair
think
amount of
so.
that.
I hope so. I mean,
because of
why
the
do we have to
tariffs.
wait? Yeah, why do we have to wait 6 months for a Korean part to
Right.
make it here, and then it costs so much because everyone wants it. There's a
Yeah.
limited stock, and so there's a lot that can be done still.
And that's
cool.
I mean, that's movement. Probably if we had the advantage of 40 years of hindsight, we
Yeah.
would look back right now and we'd be like, it's amazing how fast Trump turned the ship around on American manufacturing. But
Oh,
when we're
yeah.
in it, it still doesn't feel amazingly fast. Do you
No,
know
you
what
know
I
what?
mean?
Thank you for saying that, Todd. You're absolutely right. Thank you for saying that because he immediately he played. I mean, he kind of played the dick card, like he was basically like going to penalize companies for leaving. But I
Yeah.
think, you know what? He just he created deterrence and created incentives, and he that's how he turned the ship so quickly. So you're right. It's great.
Yeah. Well, this is the same guy,
Yeah.
except he's on Joe Rogan, and
Oh,
he's talking
cool.
just a little bit about AI. So this is Jensen
Nice.
Huang. Mind you,
Jensen
I like
Huang.
his last name. See, I have the most boring name in the world. You know that in my entire life, no one's ever mispronounced Todd Allen. It's the most American brown paper bag name in the world. So
No,
I
it's
like
great.
people who have interesting last names.
Hey,
I know.
I married a Smith. I can relate. It's great. I love not having to spell it though. I bet people misspell your name, but
Not usually. Sometimes ALAN, but not
yeah.
not often. Okay, guys, let's hear Jensen.
And more of knowledge in the world will be generated synthetically going forward. Until now, the knowledge that we have are knowledge that we generate and we propagate and we send to each other and we amplify it and we add to it and we modify it, we change it. In the future, in a couple of years, maybe 2 or 3 years, 90% of the world's knowledge will likely be generated by AI.
That's crazy.
I know, but it's just fine.
Of the world now.
Carrie
But it's
doesn't
just-
buy it.
I know.
Like,
And the reason for that is this. Let me tell you why.
Okay.
It's because what difference does it make to me that I am learning from a textbook that was generated by a bunch of people I didn't know, or written by a book that, from somebody I don't know, to knowledge generated by AI computers that are assimilating all of this and resynthesizing things. To me, I don't think there's a whole lot of difference. We still have to fact check it. We still have to make sure that it's, based on fundamental first principles, and we still have to do all of that. Just like,
What do you think, Carrie?
what does he mean? 90% of our knowledge. I mean, is he talking about is he talking there in terms of education? I guess I'm trying to figure out, how do you even? I can't even wrap my brain around.
Well, in
what
other
he
words,
said.
that's why they think that they say that AI is going to find the cure for cancer, right?
Mhm.
And it's because
Well, they're going to
they're-
find it like in a lost file that already exists. You mean?
well, not necessarily
A
that,
hidden file.
but they're going to be AI will simply put together knowledge that we already have and be able to find some patterns and find some ways to,
Right.
to get us there.
Mhm.
The knowledge doesn't ever start with AI. Do you know what I mean? But what he's
Right.
talking about as far as packaging it
The
makes
generating.
some sense to me. It doesn't bother me that much. But like I say, the most important part
Mm-hmm.
is to me is the content staying original. Like I have no use for AI songs. I have no use for AI
Yes.
books. I mean, textbooks, I guess I get. I don't know. You know, I'm not a textbook writer. If I was, I might have strong opinions about how important it is for text. I don't
Right.
know.
I
And
think
I
this
haven't,
is
I've been out of school so long, I don't read a lot of textbooks.
yeah.
So,
But that is something to think about. I'm with you. I'm not interested in. I think. Did I hear that someone was working on the first fully generated AI generated um, feature length film? I
I
hope
don't
no
know.
one goes
Maybe.
to it. I hope it's a giant bomb and that no one wants to take part in that because I think that that's where you and I feel the same way about creativity being hijacked by
Yeah.
AI. I mean, it's one thing to use it as a tool. Again, use it as a tool, but for original creation, I'm
You
not
mean
interested
when
in
you
that at all.
say what you were talking about there, an AI film,
A
are you
movie.
talking about an AI actually generates the story? Or
Um,
they're taking a story and using AI to tell this? That's what I'm not sure on what you're.
okay, so you know what? The visual part AI, but now that you say that, maybe the story is
I
as
mean,
well.
it could be either.
I
I'm
heard,
sure that
yeah,
they
I
have
heard
AI
someone
out
was
there making
working.
its own movies. That doesn't
Right,
shock me. I
right.
just don't know. I mean, they're doing songs that are AI
Yeah.
generated, and
I know, I go on, YouTube sometimes and I'll just do a playlist of something and I look and it's this weird, I'm like, who is this? I don't remember hearing that these two artists did a duet together. Oh, they didn't. And I skip it. It's like, I'm not going to give that any attention whatsoever.
well, sometimes they're going back and they're taking, and they've done this forever. They'll take masters of like that Alison Krauss singing "You Say It Best When You Say Nothing at All" with Keith Whitley. Keith
Okay.
Whitley was obviously dead when they did
Oh,
that,
okay.
but they're just using the masters and they're dubbing it in, and that's not that they've been
Right.
doing that forever. That's not necessarily
That's
AI.
no, that's cool. Like,
Like
yeah, when,
Remember Nat King Cole and
yeah,
his daughter did
his
that with a bunch
daughter.
of his songs.
That's amazing. I
Natalie
think
Cole,
that's
or whatever her
really
name was.
Natalie Cole, thank you. That's really special. I love that. But I don't wanna
But
see
I
2
agree.
artists now together and then
Yeah,
and they're all and if you start looking at 'em, it'll start showing them to you. It's like, I'm not watching any of that
I'm
garbage.
with you on that.
Nope.
I want you
Give
to
me
see.
the OGs.
I really this was a long clip, and so this is a
Okay.
Bill Maher clip that's about 8 minutes long, and I'm going all the way to the last 2.5 minutes
Okay.
because the whole clip's pretty good, but we don't have time for that kind of thing on here.
Okay.
So, but
You wanna
he's
summarize?
talking about AI, and he's
Okay.
talking about AI with regards to academia and to the younger generation coming up.
Okay.
And so I really felt like his last 2.5 minutes here were pretty good. Go ahead, Gary.
Now regarding what do you mean? Is he talking about higher education,
Well,
like
yeah, he started out
college?
with the higher education
Okay.
and talking about how these commencement speakers were going to these colleges, and they were
Mhm.
talking about how AI is going to change everything. As soon as they start saying that, all the students start booing them. All the graduates start booing them because they feel like it's coming for their jobs. You know what I
Gotcha.
mean?
Okay. Yep.
And so that's where he started, and now he's been 5.5 minutes
Okay.
into this bit, and it's
Mhm.
not really a bit, into
Yeah.
this kind of monologue. Okay, here's Bill
Yikes.
Maher.
Okay.
We
Good
emptied
job.
the kids' heads by letting them out of high school without knowing anything. And then, what a perfect time for robots to come along and say, no problem, I got you. I'm your brain now.
So he did start with a bunch of things about how
Yeah.
kids these days coming out of high school, they don't know basic. I mean,
Oh,
colleges
yeah.
are trying to teach middle school
It's
math
rough.
and they don't know history. And anyway, just a
It's
little
rough.
background.
There's one big grand experiment we're running here. Can humans survive if we completely outsource our brains to something that does all our thinking? Like Jill Biden used to do for Joe?
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Fake laugh machine. Now, I'm no commencement speaker. They wouldn't let me near that podium, but I do have a message for the graduates, and it's this. You are not wrong. You do face an existential issue here, but the good news is it's one completely in your power to fix. Are there issues that college students in the past faced, like ending the Vietnam War? or civil rights or climate change. They all involve having to convince the older generation to do something. This one's all you. You are the AI generation, and you only have to convince yourselves. I think it's great that you have this instinct to get involved and take up causes, and many are worthy, but get serious. Your issue shouldn't be Zionists or trans or plastic straws. No, your mission, should you decide to accept it, is to fight for humans and make sure we're not completely replaced. And you can't do it if you're hopelessly dependent on the thing that's replacing you. 90% of today's college students admit they've used AI academically, and 73% of the faculty say they've had to deal with AI integrity issues, formerly known as cheating. Maybe the commencement speaker should be booing you. AI has made college one big robot circle jerk where students use AI to write papers and professors use AI to grade them. Okay, can you see in this equation who has been completely cut out? The humans. It's the human kids. This is your issue. Fight for the humans.
What do you think, Carrie?
Okay, I disagree with one thing, but then I'm gonna finish with praise for this. Okay.
Okay.
I disagree with the claim that they're writing papers with it and all that, because very quickly college professors, and they're using technology to do it, but to detect.
Mhm.
And they're really upfront about it. They're like, they have detection software that can pick up on pieces of, submitted writing and detect that it's not authentic or original. So I'm going to disagree with that, but I love the
So you
message.
don't think? See, I
Mhm.
thought one of his best lines was the robot circle jerk line.
That's hilarious. It's hilarious.
There's pretty talented Tucker. Come on.
But I absolutely love his message to the graduates, because he's right. And I like how he's empowering them, reminding them, like, you have, they love talking about agency. Do you have agency? And we do. We all have agency. You can, again, learn how to use it as a tool, but man, keep your brain sharp. It's up to us to do that. It's up to, the younger people to do it in their work. And if you want to present yourself as valuable to an employer, then a potential employer, then you need to be valuable. You need to.
Right.
So I liked the message overall very much. What about
Fighting
you?
for humanity.
Love that.
I think he's right.
And as a whole, he
Yeah.
talked about all the divisions and then said, "You're fighting for humans." So I
Yeah.
love that message. Mhm.
No, and I think he's right. I think right down the line, mostly. I think there's a little bit of that no matter what, and we got into this. It was either last week or the week after, but
Mhm.
I mean, I think that there's a certain amount of just fear porn because everybody's just we're
Mhm.
always afraid of everything new.
Right.
Hell, half the time we're afraid of things old. So I mean, like we just we have a tendency to live our lives in fear of what we don't already know and understand. And
Right.
so there's always going to be that with any kind of a new technology, any kind of a new field. It's always going to be I mean, hell, I remember being just a spry young 25-year-old and hearing that the entire world was going to end and I had to get water in a 2-liter jug and store them in my basement because of Y2K, and the computers were
Oh
all
my
gonna crash and
gosh.
planes were going to fall out. I listened to programs of these people talking about this, and I thought this seems crazy, and nothing happened. So my
Nothing.
point is that does exist, and that's perennial. Like that's a perennial kind of thing.
Mhm.
But what he's saying is we are making something that does seem like it could replace us to some
Mhm.
extent, or we're trying to get it to replace us in a lot of ways.
Mhm.
Like I think one of the big thing is going to be like interpersonal relationships. Because I think these AIs are getting good enough that you're going to have people. Because like I was talking to my wife Nikki about this the other day
Mhm.
about like you see it's all over Twitter, all these OnlyFans models, and they'll
Yeah.
be making like $40 million, and it kind of pisses me off because I
It
just
pisses me
think,
off too.
and I also don't understand it. I think, my God, there's a limitless supply of free porn out there. I don't understand what is going on.
Right?
But I said to Nikki, I said, and she was like 100%. I said, there must be some kind of a weird relational element to it that I can't even fathom.
Oh, the
Like
interaction.
you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like you're talking to your same OnlyFans model. It doesn't bother you that you're having to put in $20 or whatever it is. I don't know how it works. But my
Right.
point is that it's worth enough to you to have what feels like some kind of a dopamine relational hit off this. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I understand they're real people behind the cameras, but for all intents and purposes to everybody out there looking at their
Mm-hmm.
screen, they're not real. Do you know what I
Right.
mean?
Oh yeah. This
There's
is
no
not an
pushback.
authentic connection.
She's not going to be like, no, go vacuum and take the trash out first before we do. Like you don't get any
Right.
pushback. There's no real life. Which I get that that's porn anyway. My
Right.
only point is that this kind of takes it and it
It's
kind of makes it
responsive.
interactional and relational, I guess. I don't know.
Sure.
There's no other I can't come up with any other reason why there'd be this kind of money exchange with the
Right.
mass availability of it out there. Do you know what I
Sure.
mean? Am
Yeah,
I
it's a
wrong? What
really
do you think?
I don't know, that's never thought about it, but that makes sense what you're saying. I mean, if what they want underneath I mean, if someone wants porn, like they wanna, feel something, they have these lustful urges, but if underneath it, deep down psychologically, what they really want is something else,
Yeah.
human connection, and this offers both, yeah, maybe that just explodes, like you said, the dopamine, and they get hooked on it. But
Is it fair to say to Bill Maher,
Mhm,
I agree with you that we need to fight for humanity. I
mhm.
just think that we need to have a decent agreement on what humanity is and means.
Oh, yeah.
Because the left, or maybe you could just say the world, has systematically spent the last 50 to 100 years destroying it to the point that we have a justice on the United States Supreme Court who doesn't know what a woman is. We have these
Mhm.
horrible surgeries taking place. We have men dunking on women, wrestling women in women's
Mhm.
like we've lost our mind. We don't even know what humanity is anymore. And I do think that
Right.
that's a real fair thing to say now we're entering this AI age. And like
Mhm.
when he makes the comparison and he says, we've emptied the kids' heads. Well, it's
Mhm.
not just the kids, is my only point. We've
Right.
emptied the humans' heads, and now we
Mhm.
bring in the robots to fill in. And there's a point to that.
Yep.
So what is humanity? Like, what is sex for? Like, is sex for did God have a point when he made it to be a connection between two people to kind of fuel them through life?
Mhm.
Because it seems like when we just separate it, that people still go out looking for almost any kind of connection they can get out of it.
Right.
It's not just the biological, it's not just the urge and
Mhm.
the orgasm that they're after.
Mhm.
The connection's deeper that they're after. Now, I think they're missing it. It's all empty,
Right.
but you can see where it's going.
But
There's no other
that simulation is strong enough that they feel like it's that they're getting what they
right.
need. They're really not. They're further emptying themselves. They're kind of digging themselves into a hole of a lack of humanity, and it's really
But I
sad.
just think AI just takes that all to just a whole nother level. I mean, now you've got, and
Really
you've seen it,
does.
you've got guys
Mhm.
out there that can AI themselves into this hot chick, and they're the ones acting on camera and doing all this stuff, and people are interacting with them, and it's not even the girl.
Oh my
Like, you know
gosh.
what I mean?
That's terrifying and gross.
I'm just saying, like, everything is gonna change, and then you're gonna have where it's not even another person because the AIs are good enough that you've got that,
Mhm.
like, remember that Joaquin Phoenix movie, Her, or something that came out?
Yes, I never saw it. Did you see it?
I didn't see it either. Well, I saw parts of it, but I don't think I ever saw the whole
I
thing.
love that actor so much. He's really good.
He
I
is
was a
really good.
I remember being creeped out by the concept of
It's
that
real
movie,
creepy.
but the concept of that movie I think is even more relevant
We're
now than it
speeding up on
was.
that.
We are. So I was going to say you talked about this fear porn concept. We're always afraid of, you know, we're afraid of the advancement and we're afraid of new things and
Yeah,
Todd, I think what it is what we're afraid of as a culture, as a group, is we're afraid of the excess of it all.
yeah.
We're like, oh, like smartphones, this is so cool. But then it's like, ooh, but what if it turns into this? Oh, this gender dysphoria concept. Like this, but we're afraid of the excess of it. We're afraid of it infecting like a whole generation. It's really the excess that we're afraid of. And I think sadly it's fair to say that if you look back on the last 5, 6 years, since COVID especially, I think we've seen some of those excesses playing out.
Yeah.
Like it sounds like fear porn, but then it's like, oh my gosh, but some of this is happening. So I guess I'm trying to reconcile like
See,
how
my
much of
concern, I
Mhm,
wonder if it won't take jobs as much, but if you think about smartphones, what smartphones did is they were far more
mhm,
pervasive than we expected.
mhm.
So suddenly your job was with you everywhere. It didn't matter where you went,
Yes,
and my guess
true.
would be that in this churn for more and more productivity that AI
Mhm,
produces and for the deflationary aspects and everything else, that
mhm,
it may be just another tool wherein your job comes to it's not that it takes your job comes to dominate your life even more. I wonder about that
mhm.
because that seems
Right.
to be how a lot of things have gone when it comes to tech. Like it used to be in the Mad Men era, you went home. And when you went home, you didn't have, I mean, they could call the office all they wanted. They aren't going to get anybody.
It
There's
was
no
time for a,
emails.
a martini and a whole pack of cigarettes.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's my point is it's come
Right.
to take over our lives more and more. And probably AI will follow the same pattern, I imagine.
It's
I
interesting you
mean,
say that.
there's no
So
reason for it not to, is there?
I don't know. So this week, this is just really an interesting direction you took this because this week we had an AI meeting in my office,
Okay.
and one of the things that we were exploring on the outside, like my first impression of it for myself, almost looks like it's generating more work.
That's what I mean. They'll figure it
I
out.
know. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, keep an open mind, like, just maybe it's because it's new and whatever, but a coworker of mine texted me and said, "Or is this any of this scare you?" And I messaged her back and said, "It just seems like it's making more to do, not making it
That's what, yeah.
easier." And it was kind of an interesting thing
I
that you
think that'll
just said.
be I think that'll be something that people yeah, that people find is that they want it what instead of what it makes is it's gonna make humans more of a commodity a little bit,
Yeah.
running the AI. Do you know
Well,
what I mean?
in I mean, in capital in
Or
in
it could.
capitalism, aren't we anyway? Aren't
Yeah,
workers commodities?
to
I
some
mean,
extent.
that's a cynical view, and I don't like to look at it that way. I think if you find a good someone to work for or you work for yourself, then you
Mhm.
can stave that off a little bit. But
I well, I can only say though, but that now on the other side, it does provide avenues, the advancing technology, I mean.
Mhm.
It provides avenues where we can do something like this. I mean, we couldn't have done this 10 years ago,
Right.
but we
Right.
just couldn't. The way we do this,
Mhm.
hell, I don't know if we could have done this exactly 3 or 4 years ago. I think, you know what I mean? I mean, we
Right.
we were doing the but then we got to Zoom, but we couldn't share videos, and so it's
Mhm.
progressed, and it's enabled us to do a tighter show, and you can be in Jacksonville, Florida, and I can be in Michigan, but yet
Mhm.
it's like we're together, and people
Yep.
feel it, and we're watching the same stuff, and we're sharing stuff.
I know. It's neat.
It's enabled me to write books, to publish books that are readily available, to have
Yeah.
merch, to have all these things
That you
that
can
that
get
can
in
kinda
2
tie
days
in.
on Amazon.
Yeah. Speaking of toddsworld.net, guys, you gotta go there. There's some great books.
Mhm.
Um, my memoirs, Leaves the Blue Way, that's a good book. Pastor Daryl just reread it and texted me, like, at 2:30 in the
Really?
morning telling me what a great
Oh,
read
that's
he thought it was.
nice.
But, Witness is out there. Witness is great.
I know. I
Insurrection.
wore the I
The original Dude Is Just Fiction, sure.
Restriction. I wore it today in hopes of subliminally
I love it.
inspiring you to write some more Witness.
So, my point
So
is
good.
that there's we take advantage of it, and, like, we can
Mhm.
actually build something where you can put together a podcast and some books, and you can kinda take it, and you don't need a publisher's approval. You don't necessarily have to have a network per se, you know what
Mhm.
I mean, that
Mhm.
supports you. You can go out now, it's a slog, and it's a long slog, and I'm not saying anything about anything is easy by any stretch. My
Right.
only point is it enables you to do something that you couldn't have done 10 years ago, you couldn't have done 20 years ago in anything resembling the same way.
Right.
You know what I mean? And had the same
Yeah.
kind of impact. So yeah, I mean there's good and bad, and there's whatever. But so
Interesting.
that's out there. The other thing that's going on, have you heard anything at all about this Democrat guy running for Senate in Maine? He's got like Nazi tattoos. His name is
Oh, so I heard someone refer to someone in Maine, but I didn't understand the reference. So
well,
already the dots are
I'm
being
gonna
connected.
try to get this because I'm not as familiar with it maybe as
He has
because I haven't
Nazi
been.
tattoos? Good Lord.
It goes kind of beyond that. Like this guy is he's just rough. But I got some. He's has all these sexting scandals, dick pics that he was sending out like not very long ago. We're talking, and then
Okay.
it was like he had one Nazi tattoo. He didn't have a Nazi tattoo. Well, then it came out that he did have a Nazi tattoo, and so
Oh
all these people
boy.
are like,
Uh,
this is not? I thought this is what we accused MAGA of. You know what I mean?
so what's he doing? He's running in
He's
Maine for
running
a
in
Senate
Maine for Senate
as a
as a Democrat.
what?
That's the thing.
Seriously?
And so, like, here's James Carville. We know, James
Oh,
Carville.
yay. We haven't seen him in a while.
Might as well be a space alien. Wait till you see these glasses he's wearing.
Oh no, he's so funny.
But Jake Tapper asked Carville about it. He says, "Is this the kind of guy that you feel like you can support?" And of course, James Carville. Look at
Oh
those
my God.
glasses.
Well, maybe
It's
he's
like
one of the
he just
maybe
got
he's
done
one of
playing
the
racquetball.
Greys. Maybe he's one of the Greys.
He 100% could be. Although I'm pegging reptilian for Carville
I know. I was going to say maybe reptilian. He's like on the line there. Okay.
with his racquetball glasses. Do people even play racquetball anymore? Or is it only pickleball? Remember when we were like younger, racquetball was a thing. You'd go in this boxed room and bang, 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 this ball's bouncing off
I
these
think
walls.
I think racquetball still exists in like some country clubs, but
Mostly.
yeah. I don't know anyone who plays, but I feel like it still exists.
Whack, whack, whack. All right.
I've
here's
never
James
played
Carville.
racquetball.
He just got done playing racquetball.
Okay.
But what would you say to a Republican who says, James, if there was a Republican combat veteran who had a Nazi tattoo, a Totenkopf tattoo, you wouldn't be so forgiving? What would you say to that?
It's true. I would say you're exactly right. If that person was a 4-time combat veteran, I'd say I'd never vote for him, or maybe it's her. Now we have women in combat, but you can't. But I wouldn't vote. I wouldn't vote for. I think the greatest danger we face right now is from Donald Trump.
Oh my gosh. I wanted to know if James Carville knows what a woman is.
He's not answering that. I
So
gotta find some more on
he's
this Maine
saying
guy.
he would vote for the Maine guy
Oh, sure. You got to. He's a
because
Democrat. He's got a D
because
behind
the most
his name.
important because
'Cause
the
Trump.
most important thing is to go against Trump.
Because of Trump. So
He's
here's
just wild.
here and the Democrats are mad because John Fetterman won't agree with them and he won't support the guy with a Nazi tattoo.
Okay.
I'm telling you, Fetterman is an enigma wrapped in a mystery, folks.
Wrapped in a hoodie.
That's stroke. The Lord raised him from the dead as something resembling a normal person. Like he's smart. And I don't know what happened.
I don't
Let me follow up
either.
on something you said there, because I don't think that we have this reporting.
So you can see the guys. It's some kind of a Nazi white supremacist tattoo. I don't know.
Okay.
Well, I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not familiar enough with all the white supremacist tattoos to be able to describe it for you guys.
None of that looks familiar, thank God.
Did you say, or did Senate Democrats discuss Graham Plattner posting pictures of his, you called it his dick at, did you discuss
You called it.
No, what I'm saying is that he has been sending sexually explicit kinds of messaging with women. And I assume over the 10 years that he was a membership in that, and
okay, so you're assuming that that's what he was doing. That's what I just wanted to follow up on, because if that's something that is in active conversation among Senate Democrats, I think would be of interest to our audience.
A guy that he talked about and described dicks, he's already done that in his writings. And when he used to sit in the
in his writings. Graham Plattner is this guy's name. This guy running for Senate.
Okay.
And Fetterman is just destroyed.
He would say that he would want to masturbate in them and describe those things. So,
what he's talking about is he used to. Graham Plattner used to be one of those guys in porta potties that would like draw the penis.
That's very interesting kinds of.
Glad my children are old enough to watch this show.
But again, I had invited P. Hustle. He could just submit all of the messages that he sent to the dozen women last year. He could confirm that he is not sending those images, and he should confirm that all of those people that he was engaging in that were at least 18 years or older.
So you want Graham Plattner, the Maine nominee, to confirm that people that he was exchanging sexual messages with were over 18 because you're concerned that they were underage?
No, what I'm saying, like if I was a Maine voter and I am not, I would have been concerned by some of these things, whether it's his 10-year-old membership with Kick and some of the other things. So it was clearly those things. But that's going to be the decision of the Maine voters. And I'd be surprised if he's not the one that prevails. But I know we all understand that candidates have baggage. But in his case, he is baggage that happens to be a candidate, incidentally.
Wow.
He got it finally. I feel like Fetterman at least stuck the landing there.
He really did. I love how he's sitting there too, so thoughtfully. Wow. So I haven't heard about this guy. I just looked him up on X, and he describes himself as a combat veteran, Marines and Army, friend of the working Mainer, foe of the oligarchy, husband, and candidate for U.S. Senate.
There you go.
So
This is a little bit more. This is from CNN on the Plattner. Graham Plattner's his name. The Plattner scandals.
okay.
And because the Dems were hoping to take out Susan Collins in Maine, who almost might as well be a Democrat. It's
I was gonna
surprising that
say-
they're that worried about it. But
I know. What is their objection to the rhino in office now? Or is
Voters
she
deserve better choices. Democrats have had months to cobble together. If Janet Mills wasn't the right choice for Democrats, well, they've had months. And I think when you start with the Nazi tattoo, it's time to have some contingency.
Now, what did you make of State Representative Geiger's suggestions that Lindsay Fifield is not credible because she's a Republican, she supported Brett Kavanaugh, and on and on? What did you think of that?
I think that's a completely unfair deflection. And the amount of scrutiny that Lindsay has gotten so quickly, I wonder if that same scrutiny, if it had been applied to Graham Plattner himself, what he said about his past, what he said about his education, what he said about his working class roots, if people had applied that same level of scrutiny to Graham Plattner, if we'd be stuck in this situation right now.
All right, thanks to both of you.
so even they're not
she doesn't feel like
terribly happy.
she doesn't feel like they've vetted him properly.
No, it doesn't sound like it, does it? I mean, here's the thing. I'm a little torn on this. I haven't looked into it a ton,
Okay.
but Graham Plattner he's able to do what he's doing
Mm-hmm.
because of the phenomenon that is Donald Trump.
Yeah, you're right.
And he appeals to people because he's flawed. Because for so long we were presented these politicians in these shiny plastic humanoid suits like Mitt Romney, mittens. And we know Mitt Romney's not a human. We know if we unzip that bodysuit that something else would crawl out, but nobody knows exactly what.
Reptilian.
But there is something at least, but then they're also wildly ineffective, right? So in addition to being all kind of buffed out, by the time we get to them and having their consultants and saying the right things and whatever,
Right.
then we get to the point where they're wildly ineffective like they are in California. And so it's not surprising to me that you have people, it starts with Trump maybe, who comes on and they're like, he's a business, he could do this. And not only they even Trump's flaws endear him to people because it makes him real in a way that
Mhm.
that Barack Obama wasn't ever real. Now Clinton
Right.
was pretty real, but Clinton had the same thing. It was those flaws that you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Maybe
you're
it
right.
started with Clinton, to be fair. Maybe I
Maybe.
should go all the way back and say that people were willing
Mhm.
to overlook certain things because everybody else was so plastic banana fake and
Mhm.
incompetent. You know what I mean?
Right. And I look at Obama though, he was very slick. Like the package was very slick, but he was, I'm going to say effective, but not
Oh,
to the causes that,
wildly effective,
yeah,
yeah.
not the causes that we feel good about, but
But
yeah, it's
do you see
interesting.
how
I
people
see what you're saying though.
watch this lady. This is the last clip we'll do on Graham Plattner. It's a quick
Okay.
little clip, but this is a voter in Maine.
Mhm.
And I mean, I think she's expressing what maybe a lot of people feel. And I understand this time it's about a Nazi sending dick pics who's a Democrat. And I
Yeah,
understand that's a
kind
little
of.
far over the line. I'm not saying that I support him.
It's a
I'm
little
only saying
bit.
he is at least real. He comes off like flawed, but real. You know what I mean?
Okay. Okay.
He's the best candidate by far, and probing into the minutia of his personal relationships when you don't do that for any other candidate is ridiculous.
Is there anything that would change your mind at this point?
Absolutely not.
So,
You know what I think, Todd?
what?
I think that woman was one of the recipients of one of his dick pics.
Imagine if she got one from the California Secretary of State on accident. Um, who knows?
Woo!
Well, clearly this guy's made a connection with voters like that. And you
Mhm.
know what?
Hmm.
People, there's something to the fact that even when you're flawed, people respond to authenticity. You think?
Yes, I mean,
They crave it.
I know that he is more about more than just this tattoo, but I'm very curious about the tattoo. Is him showing it? Has he defended it? Has he said this, I regret this tattoo? I'm curious what his current stance is on a white supremacist permanent mark on his body.
You know, I don't know because I don't have any clips of him talking about it,
I'm
but maybe
pretty
next week I'll see if
okay.
if
I'm
we can
just kind of
update the
curious.
story. And
I
listeners, guys, if you have any comments, share them.
Oh
That will
yeah.
help us if you're from Maine.
Oh my gosh,
And
I would love to hear from someone in Maine.
yeah. And maybe, you know what? Maybe you support the guy and you can tell us why. And then
Mhm.
maybe I'd say, okay, I can see why you do.
We can be open-minded. I didn't know they were called Mainers. Hey, Mainers out there.
I didn't either. I had no idea actually. So
Cool.
this is one more. I got two more things
Okay.
and then we're going to call it a day. One
All
more
right.
Bill Maher thing. This is a short one.
Okay.
I want to get your reaction to it. Okay. I'm
Okay.
not going to, I don't think this doesn't require much setting up.
All
He
right.
pretty much gets straight to the point.
Cold Bill Maher. I'm ready.
Old Bill Maher. Okay, let's do that and then.
Usually Pride Month is just fun, but there is news this year. This is serious. There is disturbing polling that the acceptance of gay people in this country on all levels is regressing among Republicans. One of their congresspeople, Andy Ogles, how's that perfect for the name? Said homosexuality has no place in America. Then he took down the tweet and blamed it on a staffer, like real men do. This is a serious thing that is going on out. Acceptance of same-sex marriage is way down among Republicans. Usually,
what do you think, Gary? You think it's true? I mean, that's what the data, the surveys and things
Yeah,
say.
that's what that data, I don't know. I feel like among the people I know, I don't feel like there's a decline.
Okay.
I feel like the people I know, for the most part, support it in, support it in a like a personal way. Like because most people like know somebody, are related to someone, and are like, yeah, I know their partner and they're great and they should be allowed to set up a lifelong relationship and household and family together. So I don't know. I haven't
I'm gonna
felt a
I'm gonna
decline.
put this back up so we can look at the graph quick.
Okay. Yeah, what
Because he's got that graph sitting there.
Mhm.
Um, which you can kind of
I
see.
think
I don't
it's
know if
all of
I
the
can't.
adjacent and I'm so
What's
curious.
interesting is
Yeah,
how
I'm
you see it.
curious
If you can
about
see my little cursor,
Uh-huh.
it it went up like
Mhm.
everything else for the most part.
Mhm.
In other words, over our lifetime, certainly over the last 20 or 30 years,
Yes.
the acceptance of same-sex relationships or same-sex marriage is maybe what they're trying.
Mhm.
Gay marriage is really what they're talking about. So
Okay.
I also think that there is a difference possibly between Republicans' view of gay marriage and Republicans' view of gay people. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
And I'm not
I
sure
guess
that
it's just not something I have a lot of input on personally. What are the other lines? What are the gray and the blue lines? Like
blue I think
independence?
is Dems
Okay.
and gray I think is independents. And I
It kind
just
of looks like all of them have come down here at the end
a little, right?
a little. I
They've
mean,
certainly tailed off. The Dems have at least plateaued.
mhm.
And the independents have tailed off some, and the Republicans have tailed off sharper. Why do you
Mhm.
think that would be? Do you have any idea?
Well, I was
Because
going to
it
say,
goes back, I don't know,
yeah, where did it
22.
what year is that it like peaked and then started coming
It looks
down?
like
Is that
21 or 22. It's so
2017?
small I
Oh,
can barely
okay.
read it.
Gotcha. So I don't know, Todd. I'm going to say I think it's all of the LBGT adjacent issues.
Mhm.
And everyone, we've heard people say like it's just being crammed down our throats everywhere we look and in all of our entertainment and all of our, agendas in school and all this stuff and Pride Month and those kinds of things. And so maybe that has had an impact and it kind of made made Republicans just like swing the other way. Like, I don't like any of it anymore. I don't
Yeah.
know. That would be my speculation why.
I would suspect that it has a lot to do with trans.
Right.
I think that the overreach on that.
Hmm.
In other words, we talked about this before. I said I was one of those people who it did come up for a vote. Gay marriage came up for a vote in Michigan. This was
Hmm.
a while back, and I want to say it was '05 or something like
Okay.
that. I
Hmm.
voted against it, but at the same time, I didn't have any passion about it. Do you know what I
Okay.
mean? I
Yep.
just felt like they should, if gay people want to have these relationships, they should be able to have some kind of civil protections and whatever, but I didn't feel like
Right.
marriage was the best route for it. You know what
Okay.
I mean? Um, anyway, but I wasn't all that opposed to it.
Hmm.
All the conservative Christians that I grew up with, that I've been around a lot of my life, talking
Hmm.
about the slippery slope and how if you let this one go, everything's going to go. I thought I didn't really buy it, and then I think it has proven to be true. In fact, I think it's proven to be worse than what they said.
Oh, I don't even think they had any idea where it was going.
So suddenly now pedophiles are just, that's just
It's
kind of a
just a
sickness.
preference.
Yeah.
Just a preference.
Yeah, it's not their fault they like kids.
Yeah.
Um,
They don't even
eh,
call it a disorder. They're just calling it like
the
it's just
trans
their
thing, we're
yeah.
mutilating kids, we're cutting chicks' breasts off.
Hmm.
Guys, well, I mean, John Fetterman calls them dicks off. That was one of
You
the
called it a like how she's like making sure that the audience knows she's quoting him. She's not saying it herself.
the entire thing has just been a wild overreach. And I
Right.
don't think that
Teachers
Americans
hiding from parents their child's, activities at
I
school, their
just don't
identities at
think
school. Yeah.
Americans respond well to that kind of overreach, and I
No.
think they feel like they were
No.
kind of lied to a little bit about. We thought you just wanted to get married and be together and be not that you wanted our kids, not that
Hmm.
you wanted to turn my little girl into a little boy. I didn't know that
Right.
on the agenda. You know
Right.
what I mean?
And I
It's
don't think that was the community. I don't think that was the gay community. I
it
think
may
that
not, but
was
I
something else.
at this point it has radically affected them. So,
Yeah, it
but see, I
has.
think the problem with the gay community, with the LGBT, whatever it is, community,
Hmm.
is that they can't bring themselves to Everything for their entire existence has been about gaining acceptance and being accepting in their minds.
Yep.
I don't think they can bring themselves to cut off this piece that I think is going to destroy them and drown them. Do you know what
Hmm.
I mean? By saying, "Listen, we're not into the trans thing. We're not. You
Right. They
can't do
can't
this to
denounce
kids.
it.
You can't do." They're just in a position where I don't know that they know how to denounce things much anymore, other than Republicans
No.
and God and Christians. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So I think it's a
Wow.
problem for them. That's my
Hmm.
feeling on it. Is I think it was an overreach. The pendulum is swinging the other way, and
Hmm.
they don't know what to do about it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see if the pendulum continues to swing the other way.
Hmm.
We'll just see what
They don't even
happens.
know how to denounce countries that would, like, execute them for their lifestyles.
Right. That's the problem. Like you see it in England. You
Yeah.
see, we'll import people who will kill us, who will rape our kids, our daughters.
Hmm.
That's fine. The most important thing. Oh, the other thing I saw is that, like,
Hmm.
it had a list of countries. The largest recipients by nationality in those countries that receive welfare. It was a bunch of different countries.
Hmm.
Every single one of them was Somalians. Every single country. It
What?
wasn't
Wait,
just
what?
the U.S. Like
Oh
I
my
have that right
gosh.
here. I'll find it.
Okay.
Let me
Yeah, I need clarification on what
hold on.
what
Let me find it because it wasn't a clip. It was just a post. And
I
here
need
it is.
clarification on this statistic.
Here it is. No, never mind. That was the Republican
Every Okay.
same-sex thing. Oh,
Every
here it is.
country.
It
Okay.
went the Republican thing. It's better on here. It went from 55% in 2021. In 2022, it was still 55%. So this is
Mhm.
Republican support for same-sex marriage.
Okay.
2024, 46%. 2025, 41%. 2026, 37%.
Okay.
So just to clarify. And then the Somalian welfare thing. Oh, I should play that Erica Kirk thing. I forgot about that. Where is that? I can't find it right now. It was anyway.
Okay.
It was because it was JD Vance talking about it. I had maybe there was a JD Vance clip that went with it. I know it's right here.
Okay.
I just did it this morning. There it is. Way too people. Let's hear what JD Vance. It is a clip, 37-second clip. Let's hear what Vance has to say about it.
Okay.
Because he's going to do a better job with it than I am. It just floated through my mind that I'd seen that.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Here we go, JD. Hillbilly elegy.
The Somali problem.
Look at the amount of fraud in the welfare system. According to the statistics I've seen, 85% of Somalians who are in the United States, legal and illegal, are collecting some form of welfare benefit. So that's not compared to the other 15%. When we hear 85% of the population that is collecting welfare, that suggests that we have really done something wrong with regards to vetting. And that's the fundamental issue. Even if there's no fraud, 85% collecting welfare is way too many damn people collecting welfare, getting rich off the American taxpayer while a lot of Americans struggle. That's unacceptable.
And we know there's a shit ton of fraud. So
Right.
let's,
It's a great point that he made. Even without the fraud, like there's
Yeah.
still a problem. Like it's a clear indication.
a huge problem. And
it's a
what
high
I had
number.
seen was a post that had multiple countries in Europe, here, wherever, and it was the same story everywhere. And it
Mhm.
was by nationality. The Somalians were the
Oof.
largest collectors. So that's
Wow.
interesting.
Yep.
I want to play this and see what you think about this.
Okay.
This is Erica Kirk. She was at a Turning Point USA something.
Okay.
I honestly don't know what it was exactly. Something where she's standing up and they
Mhm.
probably shot off fireworks at the beginning.
I was gonna ask. Okay.
Whatever they do with those things and whoever they're for. This is Erica Kirk. I just want you to hear what she has to say about what she's gone through and her kids, and let's just
Okay.
listen.
There will be a day 10 to 15 years from now when my children will look back on this season of life that us three are going through, and they won't remember it fully because they're so young, but they will see everything. They will see how this world talked about their father, their mother, even themselves. They will be able to read every headline, every accusation, every lie. My prayer is their focus isn't on all that noise, but rather on how their mother showed up and how she handled it. There'll be a
Whoops.
day.
What do you think, Carrie?
Um,
Erica.
I mean, I agree with what she's
Yeah.
saying.
Pretty good.
I think it's pretty good. I don't know the slow-mo. Is there like a delay on yours, or is it just slow from what I see here?
I don't know. I think it was
So,
maybe just slow. I don't know if it was.
like, I
I
could
don't
hear
think there was
her.
a delay.
Okay, the video was slow, like what I could see, and so like her eye, like right there, her eyes, like she looks all so intense and dramatic.
Well, there's
But
also a difference between the video behind her and her speaking. Do you know what I
oh,
mean?
got
Do
it.
you want to hear
Okay,
it one
then
more
that's
time?
no,
Oh,
I
you
could
got
hear
it.
it
Okay.
perfectly, and I think
Well,
I mean
her eyes always
I
look a
think
little like right there. She looks like she's about to shoot lasers out of them.
right,
So, I
she
mean,
does,
maybe who
she does.
knows?
But I like
St.
what she
Charlie's
said.
wife is capable of.
It's sad. It's sad. It's sad that our kids are gonna have to, see all that. And hopefully they'll grow up and just be like, I don't wanna read the lies and all that. But I think
Do you think it's
what
possible that 10 or 20 years from now, her
Mhm.
kids could think, boy, I wish mom had just been mom for a while? I mean, is that possible?
Oh.
Am I crazy to think that such a thing might run through their mind?
Well, I think she is that your way of saying that you don't think that that's what she's doing for them? You mean
Well,
because
I
she's
don't
out.
know. I've said before that I think she was thrown into something that she shouldn't have been.
Mhm,
Now, it's come out that Charlie wanted her to be.
mhm.
I'm not sure that that has anything to do with anything,
Sure.
but I guess it did to Turning Point USA.
I
Um,
guess. I mean, I mean, she loves her kids. I'm sure she's there for them. Um, I think she's, justifying being out there, that her kids are gonna look and be like, "She was out there holding the reins." She took the reins. She stood up for our dad, and I mean, is that kinda
well,
what's
they'll
happening?
certainly be conditioned to think that. Whether or not, I don't
Right.
know.
Right.
Having lost a mom fairly young, not
Mhm.
obviously as young as them,
Mhm.
um, but my kids were real young,
Right.
when they lost
Mhm.
my parents and grandparents, and
Yeah.
um, but you know what I think is I think that we're not very good at predicting what our kids are going to be interested in or not interested in, anything that they're going to think. That's
That's
what I think.
that's a very good point.
I'm pretty,
Right?
I watched that and I thought, feels a little self-serving to me, but
Well,
whatever. Maybe it's fine. Maybe, she's going through a lot. So whatever it
even when
takes to
she
get yourself up and going in the morning, I suppose.
even when she says things on paper that we can agree with, I think we always feel that the presentation of it is a little self-serving.
I still feel
I
like I
mean,
might get shot by like heat rays out of her eyes, and I don't know how that could even work. I'm just watching a clip on my computer.
she's like,
Well,
"Hmm,
listen, one last little funny thing. Now
okay."
this is Trump drops these
Oh,
these
no.
random like memes or videos, and
Oh,
I
no.
just love them. They're just like, hopefully this one's okay. Sometimes I get YouTube gets real mad and like they're
Takes them
copyrighted,
down.
but I think how could it be copyrighted? He put it out to millions of people on a tweet, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So
Alright.
let's watch this little 1 minute clip of the greatest president the world has ever known, Donald J. Trump.
Trump, 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 Trump. Everywhere I go, they love Donald, Donald Trump. Down in Mexico, they love Donald, Donald Trump. They love Donald, Donald Trump. In the Middle East,
They got Trump on a camel, guys.
Some Africans, they love Donald, Donald Trump.
No, they're not gonna paint him up, are they? Oh my gosh.
Man, these Indians, they love Donald, Donald Trump. Trump, Trump, Trump.
I love that Trump posts this.
Everywhere I go, they love Donald.
Here he is on the moon.
Trump, Trump, Trump.
The UFC in front of the White House.
Everywhere I go, they love Donald, Donald Trump. Man, I gotta say, I love Donald.
Anime Donald Trump.
Might be president
He's
one
riding
day,
a lion.
just like Donald,
Nice.
Donald Trump.
All he does is win. There he is on Mount
Oh no, there he is
Rushmore.
on Mount Rushmore. Okay, I'm a little relieved that he wasn't painted up in the Aboriginal, like.
Yeah, they didn't go quite that far.
I was like, oh no, it's coming. I'm so afraid, but no.
So great.
That was funny.
I love Trump. We may probably, we'll probably never get another one like this, guys. So you better
Yeah,
enjoy it.
That's true.
I understand it makes people like the crazy Nazi in Maine possible, but I promise you, he's nowhere near as entertaining as Donald Trump. There will not be another one of those.
Yep.
So
That's funny.
enjoy it. Enjoy him while he's here.
Soak it up.
Suck it up while you're getting your $4.25 gas. At least we got good memes.
At least we got good
I
music
love
videos.
Trump. I think he's doing
Yeah.
well. I hope we can patch up this Iran thing quick and get back to fixing America and setting up the golden age. That's what I'm all
I
about.
hope so. Yeah.
What do you think, Carrie?
Good stuff. He's capable.
He's amazing. He's hilarious is what he is.
Yeah. Fix the elections, man. That's what I want.
Me too. All right, guys, listen. Tomorrow, Beers with Jesus. Join us.
Yes.
Knowing the flood. We go through the Bible stories,
flood.
but we don't do it like your typical, it's not preachy. It's not like your
We don't have a
typical
workbook.
boring ass Bible study.
We don't have a
Like,
workbook.
No workbooks. We just go at it.
Yeah.
So anyway, this show is kind of an extension where we take our worldview, which we're kind of talking about through the stories of the Bible, but we're trying to apply it to the news of the day and the culture of the day, and we're trying to find the threads that are running through it. And I think we do a pretty good job. But I mean, it's entertaining, of course. Come on,
Yes,
guys.
it's fun.
But Beers with Jesus is entertaining too, but hopefully a little bit more informational. Hopefully you walk away from it thinking, I never looked at the story that way, because if there's something I think that we do pretty well in Beers that's different than a lot of people is we dig into the story. We kind of get the story out of it. Like we bring our imaginations, we find the story, and within that, I think God reveals himself to us.
Definitely.
At least he has to me and does to me
He
over
has
and
to
over
me
again.
too. It's been fun. I love it.
So come hang with us and get to know God. I think that what could be worse? I promise you it's not boring.
Yeah.
Okay, listen, and subscribe, 5-star reviews, whatever you can do for us. Send clips to your friends. The only way we're going to grow is if you guys help us. So thanks for joining us today. We'll be back here next week on Tuesday.
All right.
Check
We'll
out
see you then.
toddsworld.net. Get a book. I'm telling you, just give Insurrection, the first Insurrection book, a try. Operation Last Stand or Witness the Vanishing. Just either one. Give them a shot, and I'm telling you, you'll read the rest. All right, guys.
Love it. Thanks, Todd.
Carrie. We'll see you guys tomorrow, and then we'll be
See you
back
tomorrow.
next week.
Sounds great.
See ya.